Hey everybody, it's June 16, 2011. You're listening to Project White Rice.
Yes, I am Zach.
And I'm Chris.
And we do a podcast.
And we do a podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to our 40-second intro. I don't know how long that intro was.
Alright, anyway, so it is officially summertime because a lot of people just graduated.
Yeah.
Including you, Zach.
Including me.
And you seem to have gotten a lot of money from your graduation.
Yes. I got the monies from the graduation.
What'd you get?
I've been very busy. I bought things with it, including
this Yeti that we're speaking, the blue Yeti that we're speaking into right now.
Got it. Got that microphone. It's amazing. What else did I get?
Actually, here's a good question. How much money did you get? Like, overall?
I'd rather not divulge that information. It's...
Okay, give us a theoretical amount.
It's below 200.
Alright, so...
Yeah,
below 200?
It's below 200.
What can you get with 200? Or below 200? I mean, I can say, 3 games, maybe beyond that.
Yeah. Oh, unless you choose, you get your money wisely, or you spend your money wisely.
Amazon?
GameStop, Amazon. I got this new app on my phone, actually. Good time to bring it up. It's called Smoopa. And basically, you scan a barcode of, a game or anything that has a barcode, really. And it'll tell you if it's cheaper anywhere else.
Oh, I've heard of a couple of those apps.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Isn't there one that's free?
Yeah, the Smoopa.
That's the free one?
I guess, yeah. Because I got it for free. I ain't spending no money. So I just bought a game yesterday called BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. And that game is freaking awesome.
I haven't heard of it.
It's got a very confusing storyline. I don't quite understand it yet. And I've already played, half of 3 people's stories. But I love it. It's like a storyline, but it's Marvel versus Capcom type fighting. It's that fighting style, or
it's not is it in stages? Is it
No, it doesn't go. It's not like Mortal Kombat where it's next person. It's they have dialogue in between the fights. They're actually doing something. They're not just fighting people. There's a reason for everyone to get into fights, except for this one guy. He just fucking so yeah, it's interesting. I like it. I'll probably do a gameplay of it at some point in time.
We'll leave a link on the description box to his video game channel that he likes to do. He had just recently started it.
The Avenging Walnut is my name.
And we'll leave a link there in the description box if you guys want to join and subscribe to that.
Yes.
Speaking of video games, E3 closed last week.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to record all the conferences because I couldn't watch them.
You recorded all of them?
I recorded
You could have just watched them online.
I couldn't watch them online because I was in class because I had summer school during the time. During those time periods. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean you recorded them then?
I like TiVo.
So it'd be at home?
Yeah.
So why didn't you just watch
No,
them?
I watched it. I didn't watch them online or anything, but or videos. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I guess we'll just start off with each of the major companies. Microsoft focused a lot on Kinect this year.
Yeah, it got kind of annoying. It was and this game, Kinect.
And
I mean, I understand that they're trying to put their product out there, and they're trying to get they're trying to milk it for all it's worth. The games are interesting, especially Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. That is amazing. Did you see the gameplay?
Yeah, I saw the gameplay. I saw the 4-player sync.
That was
the
awesome.
one thing that I always seem to be
customization of the game.
I know that. I mean, the customization's fine,
amazing.
But the one thing I'm really concerned about is how a lot of games are trying to focus on cooperation when they play co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, if you're actually playing a co-op game, chances are someone's just gonna screw up and just go run in like a dummy.
Unless you make a team,
unless
your friends,
unless your friends like
it's not going to be organized.
Yeah, unless you actually have friends who actually want to do like a full organized and act out like a real like, SEAL Team 6 or something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what we're saying is cooperation in video games is never going to be as implemented well
in video games compared to real life.
Yeah. I think part of it has to do with the whole life and death thing in real life. If you don't have cooperation, you're probably gonna die.
And I think that's the whole thing. It's like the fact. I think if there's like, it has to be like really big penalties for them to really cooperate. It would be like what they did in Halo, like what they did with Halo back in Halo 3 when if one person died, everybody had to go back. Was that the case, right?
I don't
remember how. Oh no! If it was one person that died, the entire team had to start back at the checkpoint. Was it Halo 3
story mode?
Story mode, yes.
Oh.
So if that was the case for Battlefield or Ghost Recon, I think that would probably make more sense and focus more on cooperation. And there should be like some separate co-op achievements. I think for the achievement buffs.
Oh yeah.
For the achievement buffs, I feel like there should be some achievements by itself, and then that would work.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you want to have like cooperation in the game, achievements would be the best way to achieve that.
As far as the game lists are concerned, there weren't that many big name titles being announced. I mean,
except for Halo.
First off, they had Gears of War 3. You know, everybody's waiting for that. I'm waiting for that.
Mm-hmm. What else? They had Halo 4.
They had Dance Central 2. Speaking, about Dance Central, I think the only reason why people buy Kinects and stuff, I mean, if it's for the, if it's for the little kid, I mean, yeah, you get it for like, Kinectimals and all those little mini games.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's for like the older people, I think chances are we're just gonna buy it for Dance Central and all the dancing games.
For older people?
I mean, not like for like teenagers and like parties.
Oh, for parties.
For like parties.
Well, most parties I go to, we just play like Halo or something.
But no, I mean for like Dance Central for a general audience.
Yeah. All right, I can. Yeah, with adults.
Speaking of which, I'm trying to decide if I should buy a Kinect because
I think no.
But like here's the situation. My mom is gonna buy Dance Central.
You have to buy a Kinect.
No. My mom was willing to buy Dance Central, and I split the money with my sister to buy the Kinect.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I don't like about it is
how much is the Kinect?
Kinect is roughly, I believe, $150. Yeah, $150. Now, I like Dance Central. I played it at my friend's house. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was fun. But they announced with Dance Central 2. Should I wait until the fall to get Dance Central 2? Because by then, Dance Central...
Yeah, why not?
Because then Dance Central is going to be like, what, $20-$30 by then. And should I wait or should I buy it now?
Just wait.
For Dance Central?
Just wait, yeah.
If you guys want to leave a comment and help me out with this little dilemma, if I should buy Dance Central or wait for Dance Central 2 and buy that one full price and like find a retailed one of it, leave a comment.
Yeah, I always have that kind of problem with like used games or like new games that have been out for a while. I guess they wouldn't be new, but games that have been out for a while but their price still hasn't gone down. I really want them. I always think like, oh, how long should I wait before I just
like they release another one,
or they release another one, or when the price is gonna drop. I wish they would have like a schedule, but if they did, that would mess up their whole
system.
Yeah.
Hype and all that stuff. Yeah. Also for Microsoft, they announced Halo 4 is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Halo is coming back.
Okay, now
Halo 4.
They said it was a new trilogy.
They said it was a new trilogy.
Does that mean
it's
like
they've
Halo 4 will be like the first?
I watched the interview. They said that it's going to. It is a trilogy. They have the story mapped out already.
okay, so it's pretty much just like a new story. Just there's going to be 2 more games.
I think they're going to keep it going. But the thing is that is throwing me off is that it's not going to be Bungie this time. Bungie, the original developer for Halo, they're not making the game. This time it's going to be this new studio, 343 Studios. The question is if they're going to change anything.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have any... I've never heard of 343 Studios.
Yeah, neither have I.
If they don't do well on this one, they're going to completely... It's going to tank.
I feel like Microsoft is just milking out what made them famous.
Now, if it does fail, would that mean that they would stop the trilogy? Because they've already announced the trilogy. Would they just stop it?
I don't know. Maybe Microsoft's already invested the money into it.
Yeah,
we don't know where the money flow goes for that.
I don't know.
But as far as Microsoft at E3, it seemed like it was very weak this year.
Yeah.
Well, for the casual changer, it was
one specific area, whereas Sony, on the other hand, they were everywhere. They had new portable game station, PlayStation Vita.
Before we get into that, the games that are coming out for Sony, I thought Sony did a really good job, especially after getting hacked twice.
Yeah, and they did acknowledge that it happened.
The funny thing about it is that he's like, oh, I can't. It's like, oh, we're sorry that you got hacked and stuff, and I can't believe that happened. Now moving on to games, and it's like, really now? Is there going to be some compensation for them?
Yeah, there's a couple of free games, weren't there?
I believe there's a couple of free games for. I think I don't have a PS3. You have a PS3.
Yeah, I still haven't. I don't even turn that thing on.
Anyway, one of the major things that they announced, what kind of like geeked me out for a bit, I guess geeked out, was they're bringing back Sly Cooper.
I love Sly Cooper. Oh my god!
Back on PS2, Sly Cooper was
the best.
This was like
ever.
During Sony's like golden era in some sense. You had like solid titles like Ratchet and Clank,
Spyro.
Spyro was PS1.
Still.
Alright, whatever. You had Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter.
I love those games.
That was a good one. And then you had Sly Cooper.
Mm-hmm. God,
they're bringing
awesome, great games like platformers, puzzle games. Not all this first-person shooter. The most realistic looking game ever. It
has to have at least a good storyline and good characters to remember.
Yeah, I want a fun game. I don't want a first-person shooter. I mean, okay, even though I did just buy Battlefield Bad Company 2, I'm getting sick of shooters. Like, the reason I bought Battlefield was because I love that game. But, like, Call of Duty, that's getting really old.
Yeah, Call of Duty series is... I mean, you can enjoy the hype, you can enjoy the story. I mean, I like Modern Warfare storyline so far. I feel like they're going to end it now. That's a good thing when, sometimes things end. Is like, you don't want to be like what they're going to do with Halo and milk it out, like, until there's nothing left.
I think Halo can do it, because people haven't really gotten sick of Halo. Halo is like...
You have.
It's in... Well, yeah. Halo is a really interesting story. I love the story of Halo. It's interesting. You get dragged into it. You feel like you're like a human in the planet or whatever. You feel like you're protecting whatever.
Protect the world and all that. Be the savior and stuff.
It drags you in. But the Call of Duty series, it just seems like mindless killing now. With all
it seems like a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah. And also... The multiplayer, it's just getting out of
repetitive.
Hand. Yeah, like everything's the same. I don't get what's different. It's like
just like different
new guns,
different guns,
okay,
and different perks.
That'll be good for like a week or two. The new guns, and then it'll be.
And then everybody's gonna be at like prestige level 50, something like that. By the time the month is over, there's like 20 people out there or something like 20,000.
And I played Black Ops like a day ago or 2 days ago or something. I just got my ass handed to me by a guy with like the golden FAMAS. You know, everyone uses a FAMAS. Everyone. It's like, I hate games that it was like, oh, if you
have this
one, you're gonna win. You know, if you're good enough, but if you have like one thing, then it's like the overpowered thing, and that seems to be how Call of Duty is turning out. Like in the last game, World at War, there was the MP40. MP44? MP40?
I'm not sure. I can't
That
remember.
gun was ridiculously good. It was a lot better than a lot of the other ones.
But I kind of missed that's different. Like, they really went back and, for Call of Duty, they went all the close quarters. I mean, the one thing, if I had to look back at World at War, the one thing, if I had to like something about it, it would be the fact that it was open world.
Yeah, it was really open. I love that about it.
And you can fit a lot more. You can fit a lot of people.
Which is why I like Battlefield Bad Company.
And I think that's probably another reason why you have people who love Battlefield versus people who love Call of Duty. I haven't played Battlefield enough to really make a decision on that because Call of Duty.
Don't you worry, we'll play it.
But
on my channel,
sure.
There will be videos. All right, so
going back to Sony.
Off topic, or back on topic, I guess you could say. Back to Sony. They have the PlayStation Vita, which is a new portable system for Sony. You want to expand on that?
It's supposed to be like the next generation for PSP. One of the things I think made
PSP successful.
Well, not PSP. PSP was successful for a while. Then DS came along and destroyed them. But off topic, beyond that, the differences between PSP and the new Vita is they have 2 analog sticks now, which a lot of people were like complaining about. It's now touchscreen both on the front side, but there's also like a touchpad in the back. During one of the demos for one of the games that came with that's going with the Vita, Uncharted, the back touchpad is going to be used for camera control, which
there's a back touchpad, by the way.
I think that's I think it's a good
weird.
Call. It's a good call.
It's definitely new. I applaud them for thinking outside the box instead of copying Nintendo, which they have. Don't even try and try and say that.
Say it's like it's all.
They have
DS.
We had their thing,
and then they had DS.
It's like, come on.
But for the Vita, I feel like the trackpad in the back is a good move because you don't want to end up wasting like a control scheme just to move the camera.
Yeah, like one whole stick. I love that they have the dual stick and that it's just going to be like the normal controller for the PS3, but it's...
But then I think... I feel like they did a lot better job. It's more like a revision in my opinion. Because there were flaws already on the PSP.
Yeah.
Going into
There were.
New games coming out for it, or games that they've announced coming out for it, they said they're gonna have Uncharted, which was already demoed for the Vita, and
Uncharted, isn't that Drake's Fortune or something like that?
Or I think it might be a new revision, either that or I'm not a big I don't have a PS3, so I don't know the series that well.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't know if there anything else, but I think that the makers of BioShock, I can't remember his name at the moment, but like he's like super famous for the BioShock series.
Okay.
He said he might be able to get to work with the Vita and maybe make a BioShock game with it.
That would be interesting. As you know, I'm not a big fan of BioShock, but the new one does look interesting, as I said. And I think if they made a portable one, it would be kind of weird. I think anything portable that is normally...
Like PS1 graphic or something like that would be good enough.
Yeah, I just think anything that is a normal game that they make portable is not good. Like, it just seems like...
They're just trying to make more.
If you do something like that, then you always compare it to the better console game, and you always think like, oh, this could be so much like the console game, but it's not. They had to do all this stuff.
They had to adjust everything.
Yeah, they had to adjust everything, so it makes it seem like it's not as good as a game. but the original PSP games,
Yeah.
those are good. Those are good games. Anything original that's portable.
Also for new games coming out, there's Ratchet and Clank, which I don't think they demoed. I didn't see any demos out, but they said that they're gonna announce it. I feel like they're trying to revive their exclusives again. They're reviving their exclusives. They're losing a lot.
Revive your exclusives.
They're kind of acting like Nintendo, in my opinion, right now. They're gonna rehash all their characters again.
That's
but
fine.
the difference between Nintendo's and Sony's is that for Nintendo's, their icons can like expand to other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure how well you can expand on certain characters. Like if you take okay, so like here's one of the newer icons that's building up. Infamous. I don't know the name's character off the top of my head because I haven't played the game.
The guy with the electricity.
Yeah, the guy with the electricity.
Yeah, that's what I call him.
He's probably going to be an icon for PS3, but I think he's like a comic book character, I believe. Then there's Drake from Uncharted, or whatever his name is. I think is that his name?
Yeah, Drake.
He's going to be a PS3 icon.
big character. Like
they haven't made it like Microsoft and Master Chief.
Yeah, Master Chief. That's what I was gonna say. Master Chief.
Gears of War for Microsoft too. They're bringing back all their characters again. It's nice.
I like it.
I like that Sly Cooper's coming back.
Sly Cooper is an amazing game.
I feel like Jack and Daxter is gonna be coming back soon.
I hope it does. That was my like number one favorite series on PlayStation 1. Just because
two.
Two. Yeah, two. Just because they had so many different games, and it just like when I first found out about Jak and Daxter, there was already two of the games out, and I got the first one, I loved it, so I got the second one, and by the time that I beat the second one, the third one was out, so I got the third one, so it just kind of seemed like there was an infinite supply of Jak and Daxter, funny, comical. Awesome.
That's
gameplay.
The one thing is that him, Ratchet and Clank, and Drake, they're all memorable. I like Jak and Daxter because the first Jak and Daxter didn't appeal to me as much because platforming and fighting it was working really well. It was okay, and then when they introduced guns into the second one, and then made it a little bit more,
was kind of weird.
But the transition, even though it was like a transition into like a GTA kind of thing, you have to admit, it appealed to a bigger audience.
Yeah, it did. That was a good call on their part to do stuff like that.
But they still kept it like their style.
But I think that's the bad part about gaming nowadays is that like guns and shooting and killing is like the best thing that's out right now. It's kind of annoying or it's kind of bad to see that.
Here's how you can separate it. It would be like you have your guns and explosions and all in one end, and then everything else would be like RPGs and stuff that are good.
But RPGs most nowadays, like Oblivion and stuff like that, or Borderlands,
they're not getting as much recognition.
They're still, well, yeah, but there's still guns and killing and swords and blood and all that stuff. I just think that there's too much of that.
You're looking for something new.
I want something new and something not, all killing.
And by new, you don't just mean new toys like motion control.
Yeah, no, I don't mean just like I want something that I can move people with. No, I want a new concept for a game.
Yeah.
Something that no one's ever thought of before. Like Nintendo, they're having a great job. They're doing a great job at thinking of new concepts like the Wii U.
Yeah. I feel like going in, since we're now going to talk about Nintendo's conference here, Nintendo really knows how to think outside of the box. I really feel like Nintendo stole the show.
And those Japanese, man.
We got the Wii U, the new console that's coming out.
It looks really good.
It looks good. My problem is they've already slapped so much potential into it that my question is, are they going to follow through with it?
Yeah,
I mean,
of course it was.
That concept video that they showed, I mean, with the ninja stars and then transferring, from one screen to another screen, watching YouTube on the controller and then flicking it over to the TV for everyone to watch. I mean, it sounds too good to be true right now.
It sounds too good to be true because it's new and it's interesting and no one's ever heard of it before. Well, the concept of having like another weird controller with a screen. It's kind of like the DS in large and only one screen, but it's actual, just to get all the ruckus or confusion about out of the way. The controller is not another game system.
It's a whole separate console,
but just the controller for the actual console that is the Wii U.
Yeah, and I think what a lot of people seem to have overshadowed was the fact that Nintendo's moving into HD era now. I mean, a lot of people were, a lot of gaming news and other experts, not like us, were saying how Nintendo needs to move into HD era, and I think Nintendo kind of saw that already. Yeah, that was already in the next step.
Mm-hmm. So basically, Nintendo is kind of like one step behind, but also one step in front of Sony and Microsoft. The step behind is
his
quality.
I think it's just graphics.
Graphics
and now I feel like Xbox and Xbox and PS3 are focused solely on graphics, trying to make it look good. And how you were saying before, how shooters, it's repetitive and all that stuff. But they're trying to make it look as real or as good as possible.
I'm thinking like Sony, Microsoft, violent, Nintendo, wholesome fun. You play baseball on the Nintendo. That's like.
Yeah, the only thing is that, for me, if you were to classify the games that they have, I mean, a lot of them are either considered like movie games or, really mini games in a sense. Like what they had with Wii. Wii's motion control was mainly focused around mini games and for like little kids things.
Yeah.
One of the biggest
moves,
or families, I think one of the best moves that they made this year was the fact that they're working with EA now to make
kind of step away from the whole just family stuff.
Just family games, yeah. Now they've got lineups of like Darksiders and like a little bit more.
Yeah, hardcore, but also still going back to their roots of fun, family entertainment, and I think that's what made them really successful in a way. Is that like they showed a different approach to gaming than other companies were doing at the time. Like they had, Microsoft had like Halo at the time, and then Nintendo comes out with like Wii Sports. It's different. I don't think it was as
popular
as understood. What's the word I'm looking for? It was brought in as well as
like
Halo.
Advertised or
no, accepted as well as Halo was at the time, because I think at the time this shooter stuff was coming out, that was new. Well, it wasn't new, but it was like evident that was the age that they're going in, and everyone was like, "Oh, you see that new shooter game?" Or
and then like Nintendo kind of moved forward by themselves.
Yeah,
without anyone really noticing.
They went off on a different tangent angle thing and went their own way. And I don't want to say that it was unsuccessful, because it still was successful. This is still a company. But that's...
One of the things I want to say is that I feel like Nintendo, I guess I would consider maybe somewhat of a perfect game that's combined not only just family fun, but along with, the hardcore gamer in some sense, would be Smash.
Smash is good. I like Smash. I did a lot.
And Smash, they're going to announce a new Smash game. I mean, everybody's going to go nuts off that. Now everybody's like wondering who the characters are going to be. Smash is probably one of the closest games to say, next to like Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yeah.
Those kind of fighter games that can combine both the hardcore gamer along with, family fun.
Mm-hmm.
If Nintendo can find that middle ground perfectly,
which they already have found it, but they need to keep going.
They need to continue with it.
Yeah.
If they can find that middle ground, then they've got like almost the entire gaming world at their feet.
Yeah, I think they're doing well for themselves, better than the other two companies right now. I think.
Yeah, well, we'll have to find out next year if they're gonna release any more demos to try out or any more
Yeah, we'll just have to see throughout the year what happens to them.
Along with the new games that are coming out, EA announced Assassin's Creed Revelations,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm personally excited for. There was also Batman Arkham City that was announced.
Yeah, which we talked about a little bit in the previous podcast that we made.
And some of the predictions were true. We got the sandbox style gameplay where Catwoman as a playable character. There's also I just hope that the sandbox is not just going to be limited. I just want them to like almost a GTA style, but have some explorability like how you want.
Yeah, I like the fact in GTA it's open. I love open games. You have a choice to do something. But on the other hand, I like games that kind of direct you a little, I don't want to be just thrown out there.
And follow the story straight ahead. Unless the only time I'd ever follow a story straight is if the story was different, it got my attention.
Halo.
Yeah, like if it was Halo, Halo is straightforward. You don't deviate as much unless you're
trying to find like super secret items or something
or skulls or something like that. But if you can maintain
linear.
The gamer's interest through each level, like if you maintain like a plot twist or something like that, like if you save like a plot twist halfway through the game, before halfway they're probably gonna get bored of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to direct companies on like, oh, you should do this and this.
I know, but it's just a suggestion.
Ideas like this from actual gamers
who've played
a lot of games. I think that companies should listen, not just to us, but to everyone that's like trying to put out their ideas on how games should be going. I know it's not perfect. We're saying like do it for this and for this, but keep it in consideration.
Yeah.
Thoughts and ideas of people.
You gotta cut. I feel like on your end you're correct about first person shooters are getting boring. I mean repetitive, run and shoot, blow them up, move on with life. You just gotta find something new. Nintendo hopefully will be successful for that, and
I think Nintendo has the best shot at that right now.
Anyway, for Arkham City, I believe what is else? I remember they showed a clip of Catwoman and Two-Face.
Mm-hmm. And there's also Harley Quinn,
which I do enjoy her new outfit. You've seen it.
Who else was there? There's Batman, Harley Quinn, Joker, Two-Face.
And then there was Hugo Strange, which we didn't see much of him in the demo. You only know that Hugo Strange is in the trailer itself. He's saying, "Oh, I know who your identity is, Bruce Wayne," and all that stuff. But we need, I wouldn't say we need. I say I don't know. I'm not a big comic buff. I don't know much about Hugo Strange, but for a gamer, I kind of want to know what his deal is with. Hopefully, we'll get to see more of that, later on if they release any more clips about that. Speaking of Batman. A couple of days ago, I was watching, if anybody's got regular, those 200 plus channels or whatever, if you guys know what the Ovation channel is, the Ovation channel, I was watching an episode of Batman. Now, here's what the thing, when I first saw Batman on the TV guide, it said, Batman. It's like, ooh, let's watch Batman. Because I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be like a 90s old school Batman, that I grew up with. Cartoon, and where he's like all dark and stuff. And looking back, it's somewhat disturbing. It can be disturbing, if you look at some of the faces and the accents.
Yeah.
But no, this is not the 90s Batman that I grew up on. This was the 1980s Batman. This is like when you had Adam West and then the famous theme of Batman.
Yes.
Batman. And one thing when I was watching that, if you have watched SpongeBob and seen like an episode of him with Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy,
Yes.
if you were to really compare between Mermaid Man and Batman and like how the cinematography I guess would be like, it's almost exactly the same. It's like you punch someone and pow. I was like, oh yeah, look, the pow sign showed up. Ooh, I'm like, it's just like, wow. I thought that was just like a simple stereotype.
Yeah.
But apparently they really kept it for, apparently it was a real thing. It seemed like the entire show felt cheesy. I don't know why.
The Batman show.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that a lot of the stuff was really old tech and
It wasn't cheesy back then. It was normal back then. It was like, all right, cool, yeah. That was the cool thing. It's like that was their special effects.
But the one thing that really stuck into my mind for the entire stereotype of like the shows like those kinds was the fact that how they ended it. The last scene of the entire show
was kind of like
the last scene of the show is where Batman's being strapped to a rocket and about to get like shot towards the Hollywood sign by Penguin. And as classical villains do, they walk away while the rocket's about to get while the rocket's being lit up.
They don't see their product through.
I know.
They just kind of like, okay, it'll do whatever.
It'll do whatever. And then at the end, it's like, will Batman escape out of this predicament? Tune in next week to see and find out.
Oh,
that's like
awesome.
I didn't think they would actually do that stuff in the 80s. And now looking at that one episode, I'm like...
You thought it was just kind of like an over-exaggeration
yeah,
of
like
what people thought of it, but
really,
it actually was.
It really was what they did.
Yeah.
I thought, stereotyping just what the show was back in the 80s, but... Wow. Oh, and Robin wearing those shorts back then? Why would you wear those... If you were to compare Robin's shorts in that episode, it was like...
Shorter than most shorts that girls wear now.
Short shorts. Like they were short shorts.
Yeah.
And, like, he's wearing stockings. I'm like... Oh, and that famous Adam West voice. You can't forget that. He's like...
No,
Robin.
It's on Family
It's like
Guy,
Boy Wonder. La, 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 la,
yeah.
la.
If you ever want to hear it, it's on Family Guy.
You can hear, like, Family Guy. Everybody's recreated that voice because,
the actual Adam West does
like all of those voices.
No, Adam West is on. You know how there's a character Adam West on Family Guy? He's
Yeah.
the mayor or whatever.
Yeah.
That is Adam West for his voice.
Does he also do like all the other ones for all the Adam West voices that they've like advertised for anything? Like.
Well, yeah, like if you've seen like one episode, I think he was Catman.
Yeah.
I think. Is
Oh
what
yeah,
he was,
yeah.
And he'd shoot cats at people or something like that.
That really was Adam West.
That is, yeah, Adam West.
Okay.
That does the voice for that. So I thought that was interesting when I found that out.
Well, other things I've seen on TV lately. The Stanley Cup came to a close. I don't know how long ago, but listening to the news, there was
Stanley Cup is hockey, by the way. For
hockey. Yeah, for people who are.
And before you shut this off, because you heard hockey.
This is not about sports. This is actually something interesting that happened. It's the fact that, okay, here's basically what's happened. Boston, United States versus Vancouver, Canada. Finals, we won.
Boston won.
And how do the Canadians respond? By having a riot in the streets.
Yes, a full-fledged riot, like breaking car windows, jumping on police cars, SWAT team or whatever, riot control teams, with the big old shields, stuff you're not really used to seeing.
I mean, I'm looking at
nowadays.
these I'm looking at these
there's
screen
cars on
these
fire
pictures right now. There's like a car on fire and there's like these three dudes with their hockey shirts on. I'm like, dang. There's some guy jumping on a turned cop car and I think he's about to kick the screen.
Yeah.
And they got riot shields.
Police fighting people.
I don't know if that looks like a Molotov or...
That's not a Molotov. It's gas to clear the street, but it's some guy. He picked up one of the gas canisters that the cops shot, and he threw it back. But yeah, the pictures are crazy. If you want to check them out,
it looks like there's a war zone going on.
It's on
there.
Yahoo. I don't really want to say the full address because it's ridiculously wrong, but you can go to Yahoo Sports and then go to NHL, and it should be there.
You should see it right there.
Yeah.
Can't believe that. Well, I don't know.
I think that.
I mean, who would really win in a fight? Would you consider hockey fans or soccer fans? Have you seen? I don't know if anyone has seen the video of. There's a video of a soccer fan. It was when I believe one of the international teams were playing in San Diego, but there's a video of this soccer fan who is drunk and he's about to get arrested, and then like he starts flailing punches. He's like, I'm not gonna get arrested or something like that. And so then he gets like slammed on the face, and then he's like, everybody starts freaking out, and like, no, don't hit him.
So you're trying to ask who would win in a fight? Mad hockey fans or mad soccer fans?
Who would win in a fight? Yeah.
Soccer, there's more of them. That's just simple. There's a lot more fans in soccer.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up here.
This podcast here.
Right, and to leave you guys with a little interesting note, somewhere in LA, someone is using $1.5 million just to move a gigantic rock.
Big rock. And it's supposedly art of some sort.
They're using $1.5 million to move a gigantic boulder from Riverside County all the way to LA. I don't know about you, but I have a better way of spending $1.5 million. Yeah.
They apparently want to make it into like an exhibit where they have the boulder and they have a trench underneath the boulder. And you can walk into the trench and kind of look up and see the boulder suspended above you in kind of like a precarious fashion.
Here's my question. How is a gigantic boulder art?
I don't know.
I mean, we can say like it's
art,
natural.
man.
I mean, we can say it's natural art, but I mean,
I don't get
art.
If
you take it out of context, like, I mean, you can put a boulder. If you see like a gigantic boulder in an entire like natural scene, that's like, okay, that's nice, that's beautiful and stuff, but then you take a boulder and put it in the middle of LA, it's like, why is this here?
Why is there a big ass boulder here?
So what would you do with $1.5 million? Would you really put that money into moving a rock towards a museum? Leave us a comment.
I don't think anyone would, except for these people.
Alright, thank you for listening to Project White Rice.
I'm Zach.
I'm Christian. And please subscribe.
That's it for this
edition.
episode.
We'll try to do as many podcasts as we can.
This is episode 2.
All right. See ya.
Bye.